The Asian Avengers, so weak.
Asian Avengers, so weak, so fuckable, bro. You know? Whoa. There's 5 Asian guys together. Wow.
Together. Did you ever go through a stealing phase?
Do I think everyone should have a gun? Maybe.
Or you can look me up. I don't care. I'll fight you. I don't care.
You want to get high as fuck? You like opium?
Hey, welcome everybody to the Asian Not Asian podcast, the podcast where 2 Asian guys not from Asia talk about American things no Americans care about. I'm your host, Mike Nguyen, and I am alone today because Fumi is doing things with his life, aka he is on a business trip and doing that. So good luck to him, and it's just going to be me alone for today, but I've got a special guest. More on him in a second. For right now, though, if you are listening to this podcast on your phone, please take a screenshot, post it on Instagram, and tag us at AsianNotAsianPod. We love that, and we usually will re-up your story. If you are also on your podcast app, please leave us a review, hit 5 stars, and leave us a review. You can leave us a bad review. Leave us a bad review, but also 5 stars. I would love that. I would love hate crime, 5 stars. You know, I think that would be amazing. Just like, these stupid fucking Asian dorks. 5 stars. Perfect. Don't care. Don't give a shit. Tell me that my people eat weird food. I don't give a shit. Leave me 5 stars. And on top of that, one other thing. Today is December 5th, so it is Christmas season. If you are looking for a gift, check out our merch. We've got some cute merch, super cute merch. Hoodies and t-shirts and mugs and shit like that. And you can find that on AsianNotAsianPod.com/merch, or you can find it on our Instagram in our bio. And it's a good time. And I think that's everything. One more thing is if you love what you hear, which you probably haven't yet because this has just started, but if you eventually love what you hear, check out our Patreon at patreon.com/AsianNotAsianPod, or just search that. And if you subscribe to our Patreon and you subscribe a certain amount of money, you get things like a shout out or race news. We do that where we talk about different things happening, and it's a good time. So I think that's going to be it for announcements. I'm ready to get into this, and since I can actually talk entirely by myself. Okay, I don't need you, Fumi. Okay, I'm happy to talk to myself. I think all comedians talk to themselves. I talk to myself constantly, all the time, in the shower. You can do it, Mike. People like you. You know, you're not losing your 6-pack. You know, I talk about that all the time. All to myself. It doesn't matter. That's what stand-up comics do. But I think you guys would get bored. I don't get bored because I don't have a choice. But you guys might get bored. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up our comic. I'm really excited to have him because when Fumi's away, or I'm away, we'll try to find someone who is someone we just like. You know, we'll have Kenise on, Kenise Mobley, she's great. We'll have on Brian Park, he's great. But I wanted to give a young buck a chance. And it's weird to call him young buck because it's not like he's like much younger in the comedy sense. He's much younger in the life sense, but he's not much younger in the comedy sense because he's been grinding away too. He's a young comic. He's living in New York City. He's living the dream. His credits include he was on the Today Show. He had a really cool Instagram show with Young Mi Meyer, and they were on the Today Show. It was awesome. And he's also Viet. That's a credit apparently. So so we're gonna have a real deep talk with him. This is no longer Asian not Asian. This is Viet not Viet. Okay. What the hell? Okay. What the hell? Okay. It's gonna get so Vietnamese up in here. All right, and this guest here, his biggest credit, honestly, is probably doing this podcast. All right, that's a huge credit for a young comic. He's laughing so much. All right, give it up right now for Anhtriet Tran.
Yo, what's up, Mike?
What's up, buddy?
Dude, on Mike. What's up?
I'm so excited to have you.
Yeah.
I'm excited and I'm a little nervous.
Dude, yeah. So this is the Vietnamese takeover episode. The Viet takeover.
This is where our tanks roll into Saigon. Yeah, and we just take over.
Dude, yeah.
New regime, baby.
Yeah, we're usually the invadee. We're not like the invaders. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, have you guys invaded Vietnam lately? Huh? You guys should come check out Vietnam. Come invade us. You know, we China did, and the Mongols and Japan, and hey, everybody's invading us. I'm so excited to have you on. I'm wearing
happy to be here.
Vietnamese camo for the occasion. This is tiger stripe, huh?
Nice.
Special
Perfect.
Forces. So
Awesome.
You know, I mean, I'm excited to have you on, and for our guests who don't know, you know, just give us a quick rundown, man. Where are you from and all that stuff?
Yeah, sounds good. So I'm from, well, I tell people I'm from the Midwest, but I was really born in North Carolina. But I grew up mostly in the Midwest, so outside Chicago, where my parents still live now. So I went to school there, hung out, college out in the Midwest, and then I've been doing comedy. You know, I started in college, and then it just kind of, you know, I feel like a lot of people have a similar story. Somebody in your friend group was like, dude, you talk way too much shit. Like, just like use that for something. Okay. Then I just started doing it, and then slowly. And then when I first moved to New York a couple of years ago, I was really into work, and then like I was dating a girl at the time. And so I was really focused on that. So I kind of stopped, but then I really started like getting more like serious and picking it back up about like 3 years ago. So pretty seriously.
What is it? So you're like a Midwestern Viet then, huh?
Yeah, Midwestern. I think, yeah, definitely. Well, in Chicago, there's actually a fair amount of Vietnamese people.
Right.
I was in the suburbs, and so there's actually a lot of Filipino people in the suburbs of Chicago.
That's perfect. You look Filipino.
Yeah,
so that's
what everybody says. Like Filipino people will ask me, "Are you Filipino?" Before they even say hi. They'll just like, like, "You're Filipino, right?" And then I feel like my answer is like, I say no, and they get so disappointed.
They get so mad. Like, clearly he's Mexican. Okay, got it. You know, like, yeah, I love that you're from the Midwest, because you're a true complete replacement of Fumi. Okay, we no longer need him. We're taking. It's like this is our Dien Bien Phu. Okay,
right.
we're kicking him out, the colonist out, and we're taking over Vietnamese on Vietnamese. It's great. It's great.
Yes. I'm gonna try to recreate a Fumi's laugh. I know. It's infectious. Yeah, when you listen to podcasts.
So you moved here in New York, and then you weren't. You didn't move here necessarily for comedy. Then.
No.
You were just like, this is gonna be the spot. I'm gonna come here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make my money. We're doing whatever.
Right. So I moved to. So actually, Fumi's from Ohio. It's funny because I moved after college. I got a job in Ohio, and then like being there, it was just so bland and boring. I was just like, I gotta get out. And so I thought I really wanted to move back to Chicago because that's all my friends were. But then I visited New York once, and you know, it was just amazing, magical. And like I always had comedy in the back of my mind. I was like, oh, it's cool there. But I really moved there for the job that I had at the time. But then I found out I hated that job, and so I no longer worked there.
Shit. Well,
yeah.
So, you know, I mean, you know, how long you been in New York doing comedy then?
So I've been in New York about almost 6 years now. Holy cow.
Have
almost
you?
6. Yeah, 6 years. And then doing comedy in New York about 3-ish years.
That feels like, because I feel I started seeing you around 2.5-ish
years
ago for me.
Right. So the first 6 months I was probably, because the thing is, the New York comedy culture is way different, because I'm used to like the Midwest comedy, like suburbs of Chicago comedy scene, where you get up, you go out, maybe like twice a week is good. Whereas like in New York, if you get up twice a week, you're a failure.
Yeah, you're a failure.
Quit.
Just quit.
So if you get twice up a day, you're a failure, right?
Yeah, exactly. How are you liking it so far, man? Are you, is this, is this what you thought it was going to be like? And then I have another follow-up question about that. Yeah.
It definitely has changed, especially with everything that's happened this year. I think, before, definitely when I was starting out, I just had all these, big grandiose dreams. I was like, dude, I'm gonna get a TV. I'm gonna be a supporting actor on a sitcom and stuff like that. And then, you're young.
Supporting actor, not even the main actor. Oh, no.
I was like,
I would love to be an extra. Yeah, exactly. Man, I'd love to be a best friend, Yeah.
Yeah, so it was always like I had all these goals in mind, but then, it's just, the more and more you get into it, and the more and more you realize how tough some of those things are, it kind of it feels very insurmountable. And then for me, at least, my process is because I know some people, they want to write really big goals, and then it helps them visualize it, manifest it, achieve it. for me, if I have those really
Yeah.
big goals, I'm kind of the opposite. I'm like, oh my God, that's so hard. I'm going to give up.
Yeah.
So
I'm the
very,
same way, bro.
It's very discouraging. So me now, I just really focus on, what I really like about comedy. And that's just kind of like writing a new joke,
Right.
doing well in front of a crowd. So it's the small things. And that's like really what I focus on. That has made it so much more easier and so much more fun. It's just more enjoying the process and like having fun doing comedy, writing comedy. And that's,
Yeah. I'm the same way. And people who listen to the show kind of know about. I'm gonna write a book one day, I guess, of just about like lowering your expectations. That's really what this is like.
100%.
And I sometimes wonder if sometimes wondering if this is like a Vietnamese thing, because I think Vietnamese people we're just get through the day, We're just get through like the year. Let's just get, like we're not necessarily like if you can kind of encapsulate Korean people as like having Han, just like I'm so full of rage that I'm going to work so hard and conquer my enemies. Yeah. Vietnamese people are just like, listen, we've been conquered like so many times that honestly, if I just make it to Saturday, that would be fucking sweet,
Yes. Yeah.
Do you feel like that's like the case sometimes with us?
I do, yes, because I see it in my parents too, because they used to be really, really like, yo, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, and then now they're like, are you just happy? That's all we care about,
right?
So it's
what happened.
I feel like Vietnamese people are, because so much has happened to our country, so much it's good to be chill now, right? Because you're always on edge. You're like, before my parents were probably like, dude, when are we gonna get our next meal?
We're
gonna get. And now it's just nice for them to be chill, and they're very content and happy. But then I also have the other side too, when people are still. Like my aunt she's like the most crazy ambitious person
Super
I've
ambitious.
ever. Yes, like crazy ambitious. And
right. There's always one that's gonna ruin it for the rest of us. That sucks. I feel now you and we can talk about Dat Fan, right? Because
yes. Oh my God, I have some story.
I have some interesting. I mean, we've talked about it on the show before. People who don't know, Dat Fan was the first winner of Last Comic Standing.
Yes.
And this was like, man, a long time ago. I mean, I was in college, so like, it was like 2004 or 3 or something like that.
Right.
And I remember watching and seeing him and going, oh my God, a Vietnamese guy. And, he won the show, and then sort of notoriously the comedy world like shit in his mouth and like just turned their back on him. There's this crazy thing. If you look it up, Dat Fan goes on this show called Tough Crowd.
Oh.
And it was there's all these legendary comics on there. Patrice O'Neill was on there, and there's this like legendary scene. I don't know, infamous scene of Patrice O'Neill just shitting on Dat Fan, like right in front of him, just destroying his career right in front of everyone. And it's been tricky, but I don't know. Like, I don't even know where we want to start. Like, what are your sort of,
Yes.
We can talk about it. Yeah.
Right. So I remember watching Last Comic Standing too. I think Jay Moore was the host of that season.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jay Moore. Yeah. So I remember the one episode that was like the most clear to me was the first, because I used to do, if people aren't familiar, to get eliminated, you would have to go up against another comic.
Right. Yes.
So that was the format of the show, and it was kind of like a survival show. Last Comic Standing, obviously. So I remember him. They would show the pre-one. He was going up against another guy, and he was just practicing his accent. And do you remember that? So he was just like, "We're gonna win this," and practicing his accent in third person. I mean, now comedy's totally different now, and like that type of stuff. It's right now. It's not as in favor as it was back then, but I just remember that, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like this is crazy. Like this Vietnamese guy, and then fast forward 15 years later, a good friend of mine, Dat Fan actually runs a Zoom show now. He runs.
Shit, we didn't get on the Zoom show.
It gets better. It's kind of like a quasi Zoom bringer show.
Oh no.
So yeah, one of my friends was on it, and so he was like, hey, like, can you be my bringer? Jordan Lung, he's a really funny HK Hong Kong comic. And so I was there, and then like I joined the call because I joined like halfway, and then Dat Fan, he's kind of going through the rules and stuff, like everything. and he's just like, yo, who's this guy? Like, and no, he just starts ripping into me and just like ripping on me. Just relentless. He's like, oh, how do you say your name? Because for people who don't know, like my name is Vietnamese, but it's kind of Americanized in the sense that it's like I combined it into one. It's supposed to be two. And so he was just like, he didn't know it was Vietnamese. So he's like, what kind of name is like, it was funny. Yeah. And so he kept asking me and just bugging me. So yeah, he's still around. He's still doing comedy and stuff.
Oh my God, I love it.
Yeah, we should do that Zoom show. I can be your bringer guest.
We need to get that guy on the pod, I feel. Yes. You know, now that we've taken over and now it's Viet, not Viet. I mean, there's only like 2 famous Vietnamese people or something. There's Dat Phan and there's Ho Chi Minh. That's it. That's like there's only 2 guys.
Do you know what's funny? The people who are like half Vietnamese or something, they never talk about being half Vietnamese.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like Tyga's half Vietnamese.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so even when it was popular and cool to be Asian, like after Crazy Rich Asians for like that 9 months, he didn't even come out and say that. So if that was like now or never. So he's not.
Now it's everybody just get back into the hole in the ground, everybody. That's what Vietnamese people do. How was he funny? Was Dat Phan funny? Because he's been in the game forever now.
He has been, and to me, he was just doing he was kind of running the show. So he was doing more he was more hosting and doing administrative, which is what you're supposed to do as a host.
Right.
And he was mainly just ushering the show, telling people how it's going on, doing a little crowd work in between every single comic and then bringing up comics. So
I feel for him because I feel he was ahead of his time.
Right.
I feel the accent thing, a lot of people get on that shit about the accent thing, and like it's very divisive. Like we had Nigel Ang on, Uncle Roger, and
the king
he's got I saw a post the other day of his, and he's like, oh, we're trying to get to 3 million subscribers on YouTube, and I'm just like, that is a mind-boggling amount of followers for a comedian. Especially like he's a real comic. He's not just like a YouTube guy. He's a comic, and he's got a lot of jokes. He's got a lot of things, but like a lot of people give him flack for the accent.
Yeah,
people call him out for it and stuff like that. But I feel like we've talked about it. If it's really good and if it really kind of hits on something, which I think Nigel does, then I don't want to even say you can get away with it because I think that is part of the character. And I feel for Dat, it was like he had this thing and people were like, I think he kind of leaned on it too much early on. Like that was his main thing because he could do it. Which I'm not trying to criticize anybody, but I feel like maybe that was maybe a misstep. But at the same time, like I feel if you had the world is ready for an amazing Vietnamese accent. That I feel there needs to be a Vietnamese Uncle Roger. Whatever you want to call him. Uncle Ho, I guess that's what the communists call Uncle Ho Chi Minh. But like if there was a Vietnamese amazing accent, then you could like take the world by storm because it could be very funny. Right now, the only person who could do a Vietnamese accent really well is that one other comedian. What's her name? Yeah, now I'm gonna look it up.
She's not even Vietnamese, right? I know
no,
this
she's
one.
Not.
Yeah, I know Angela something. Yeah. Right, because she does the nail salon thing. She does
Angela Johnson.
She does the honey thing. Yeah,
she does a great one, and honestly, we need to take the throne back from her because she's not Vietnamese. Maybe she's half. Maybe she's half, and she doesn't want to admit it. That's sort of the thing. But our first segment, speaking of Vietnamese accents, is Anhtriet. Your Vietnamese is solid, right? Would you say it's pretty good?
I would say it's better than most other Vietnamese Americans in our generation, that I meet.
How did you like maintain it? Because you grew up in you said there weren't that many Vietnamese people.
No, so it was just a lot of which is funny too because I only mainly use it with my family and people that are elder, because kids our age, my cousins, my brothers, my sister, we'd all speak in English, right? So I'm not used to talking to like somebody younger than me and stuff. So that actually, I'll talk more about that later. But so it's just I've learned through, and I used to go to Vietnamese school when I was a kid.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, at the temple. So at the chùa. Yeah, Vietnamese school at the chùa, which is temple in Buddhist monastery in English. Sorry, in Vietnamese. And yeah, so I've been going back to Vietnam more recently in the past couple years because my
Oh shit.
aunt, yeah, so my aunt got married last year around this time.
Mhm.
So I went back there. And then 2 years before that, so 3 years ago, I also went back in 2016. So yeah, I come back and every single time I come back, I really like hang out with all the kids my age and all my friends, my cousins there. And then I just really, really immersive into Vietnamese. And that's how I kept it up. But I think the main reason I'm really good is because every single time I go back to Vietnam, I always end up meeting a girl and like developing a crush on her.
No.
And so we're like pen pals.
Oh God.
And then that's how I really pick up Vietnamese. That's the secret. You're looking for like some secret. Like
That's so funny, dude. I feel like, you know how they have Rosetta Stone or they have like Duolingo or whatever? No, if they need to combine
yes,
Vietnamese, language learning with like Tinder,
Crush.
you know? Or like, like, hey, if you could speak Spanish real good, you get a nude.
Exactly,
you know?
dude. That's
Right?
exactly my mentality. I was like,
You would definitely like learn the language really well then. You know, I could probably speak fucking Turkish or some shit if every time I nailed the phrase, I got like, like a side boob, I'm like, I'm there.
Exactly. This is that's the true motivation is horniness. If you could direct horniness into that.
Yes.
So it was it's because I listen and hear enough because you probably have this too. Like sometimes you could hear Vietnamese and understand it better than you can articulate.
Oh,
yourself.
way better. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So like a lot of times, like I'll go on Google Translate, and then Google Translate might not necessarily be a 1-to-1 translation or the best.
Right.
And then so like, you kind of listen and then you interpret and change it how. So that's kind of I would do that, and I found some actually better dictionaries too. That online, and so I had these books, and I would ask my parents, and then I would also ask my other friends too. But a lot of it is just translating Drake lyrics into Google Translate, and then that's what I would send the girl. yeah.
Girl, started from the bottom, now we're here, and she's just like, "Wow, you're a poet. You're a poet. How do you do it?"
She's like, "Oh my God, you're the way with words.
You're so deep, bro. Also, I didn't know you're from Canada. What? That's so crazy." Okay, so I guess this first segment we're gonna teach Mike some slang or phrases, some Vietnamese slang phrases. For people who don't know, I think people know. My Vietnamese is essentially zero. I essentially cannot speak Vietnamese. To your point, like I sometimes can understand like very casual conversation. Here's the thing. I can always tell if someone's talking shit about me. I can always tell. I know you're talking shit. I don't know what exactly you're saying, but you're talking shit. So I can usually understand that. I can't really like order in Vietnamese. Like I know what the foods are, but everybody can do that. But I'm essentially zero. I'm essentially like, my Spanish is mucho bueno compared to my Vietnamese. So.
Yeah. I would say my Vietnamese is cũng được. It means like okay, like possibly okay. Cũng được.
Okay, perfect.
Nói tiếng Việt cũng được.
Hey, that's pretty good. That was perfect. There you go. You talking shit? No. Okay. All right. Okay. What's the first phrase we're gonna do here?
So let's do some slang. And so I talked about dating. That's how kind of I've really learned or like kept up with, improved my Vietnamese. I would say taking it to the next level. So a very popular phrase, I think, like, amongst kids and like teenagers is it's kind of like, like the talking phase, and you're like trying to like attract each other. They call that tatin. So tat is kind of like it's kind of like a fishing term, because like tatin is like spreading bait. That's what it is. Tat is like releasing, and then tin is like this tiny fish is like releasing bait. And so they're like, oh, you guys are talking? Oh, tatin, huh? Like, it's like you're like trying to talk to her, right? You're trying to release your bait onto her and stuff. It's funny. Like, this is, you can see like the metaphor and the analogy. That's
such a Vietnamese thing. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, we're such a fishing culture. Just everything is like, hey man, you try, instead of like saying like you're trying to holler, no, you're trying to spread that fish, dog.
You're trying to spread that bait. You're trying to lure. It's kind of like luring and stuff.
Luring, right. Okay, so how does it go?
Tatin. Yeah, tatin.
And then
it's THATHINH. Yeah.
Right. What is the little like thing?
I think there's a dấu hỏi, so it's like a question, like
extra
ta. Yeah, ta. And then
ta ting.
Tin is,
And then what's the thing? Is
it's
it
a
up?
I. It's a suck, so it goes up like tin.
Up.
Yeah.
Ta ting?
Yeah, that's good. Maybe not too sharp on the second one, but pretty good. Yeah.
Ta ting?
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
hey. Hey,
But-
sup, shouty? Sup, shouty?
I'm trying to tat.
I'm trying to ta-ting this girl, you know? Oh my gosh, dude. As soon as you start speaking Vietnamese a little bit, you get an accent. You know, just, I'm trying to ta-ting this girl, huh? You know, like, oh my God.
That's
I'm
funny.
okay. I'm horny now. Okay, what's another one? That's a
Exactly.
good one.
Okay, so this one, actually, the last girl that I was talking to,
This is hilarious, by
yeah,
the way.
that she was, because obviously, like my Vietnamese, she knew it was bad. Like I was trying to work on it. She would call me "Goi bắp." So, so bắp means corn, and goi is corn cob, and so what that means is you're useless because you're a corn cob. Because like there's no more kernels or anything on it. Nobody has any use for the corn cob, and so she would be like, "Oh, you just misspelled this. Like you can't do anything. Like this, you missed the accent. You're a goi bắp." It's just like you're useless as a corn cob.
Oh my God. Well, that's a roast. That's a Vietnamese roast.
That's a
you know,
Vietnamese roast.
is like, you know, you ain't, it's not even you ain't shit. It's you are a corn cob. Damn. Roasted. You know,
Corn cob.
Okay, how does that one go?
Roasted corn cob or
No, I'm sorry. How do you say it? How do you
Goi
so I can
bắp?
try to. Okay, how do you spell that?
it's cool. I think it's CUI. I don't know that. So what's a good thing is amongst the kids, like the younger generation, like informally, you can text in Vietnamese and don't have to use.
And then you have to have
that.
these accents.
Yeah. So they can learn that. So I usually do that, but I do try to use that when I'm texting my parents. So I do try
Right,
to
so
use
they
that accent. Right. But I think it's there's like a hook,
Goi.
a hook on the
Okay, yep,
U.
yeah.
And then bop is BA, and then there's a sac. I think it's a hat. So it's the A like this, and then and then a P. I might be wrong, but I think that's what it is.
Any shorties listening right now?
Yeah, any Vietnamese people, we're gonna get tons of
Please-
angry. It's
Please
like
send us translations and tell us what a goi bắp we are, because we are so useless. We are just a piece of
we're
man.
gonna get worst Vietnamese takeover ever.
worst Vietnamese takeover. These guys are a bunch of goi bắp, and it's just so bad. Okay,
Goi
cool.
bắp?
Let's do one more. Let's do one more.
Okay, one more is this is a fun one. It's when you're really feeling yourself, or like you wanna, you're really happy, or you buy some new shoes, you get that new Supreme drop, Mike.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so you're very happy with yourself, and then you're the enabler of that happiness. So it's kind of like a treat yourself type of thing. It's kind of like
I see.
Yeah, it's called tự sướng. So tự means yourself, and then sướng is kind of like, it's a very common sense, like it's like, oh, you're so spoiled, or you're so
Yeah.
So like when you go out, or you get stuff, like your parents will be like, oh, you're going out to eat again, oh, sướng quá, like that means like, oh,
my
so,
parents
yeah,
my parents would always say that to me whenever like I was getting, like, I don't know, I don't know if they did this for your parents too, but like whenever I felt I looked really cozy. You know what I'm saying? Like if I was like I was like, I don't know, getting into a hot tub. It's like, oh,
right.
sướng quá.
Yeah,
it's like, oh shit, look at that.
Yeah. Or like you're watching TV, and then your mom brings you food and stuff.
Yes,
and your dad
exactly.
Your dad walks by. He's like, "Oh, sướng quá." Yeah. You're so much is like,
You're so
very,
like satisfied.
satisfied,
You're very,
content.
Content. Yes.
People, things are going your way.
Yeah,
like, it's happy. So that's like tự sướng is kind of you.
Tự sướng.
Like
Yeah.
you're living your life. You're doing.
Oh, shit.
But that source of it is your own. So that's it's a fun thing to say.
Yeah, treating yourself.
Yeah.
Was there, when you went there, was there Supreme there, or was there like, I guess there was like fake Supreme?
There is
Or was there
definitely
real Supreme?
there's definitely a hype culture between
There
not
was.
not as much as international Chinese, but the rich kids, they love Yeezys, they love
Yes.
they love Balenciaga. It's very similar fashion. The streetwear is really big there, like designers and stuff. So like very high end fashion wear, Gucci. They love all that. So
It's so crazy because you go to Vietnam, and I went there around 2016.
yeah,
And it was the first time I had been, and the first time my mom had been since she had left the country in
Yeah, that's crazy.
1975. She loved it, and it was so awesome. I really, really loved Vietnam. And even though I felt like kind of not a Vietnamese person, I also felt like a Vietnamese person when I was there. I was like, this is like I'm totally connecting all the vibes and everything in Vietnam. It's funny because like if you go to like Southern California and then you go to like Little Saigon, Vietnamese people really just replicated the Vietnamese feel in California. Like the malls, like fucking selling fruit on the sidewalk outside of Elise sandwiches. It's just like it's like the exact same vibe in California as it is in Vietnam. So it's like, it's kind of funny, but it was so crazy because, you know, my mom would talk to this like, you know, fruit peddler, and she would be talking and like, oh, how much do you make a day? And the fruit peddler would be like, I make, you know, and my mom would translate and kind of convert the currency. She'd make like $1 a day or something like that. Yeah. So there'd be like a fruit peddler making that much. But then also a kid wearing Rick Owens.
Yeah.
Right next to her, whose shoes are like $800 US. Mm-hmm. So it was like this crazy disparity. And it was so funny to me that Vietnamese people, hey man, we're treating ourselves, you know?
Yeah.
Suk Hua, you know, we're just like, oh shit, we're just treating ourselves to these Yeezys, you know?
Yes.
Oh man, I've had so much turkey and stuffing and everything this Christmas, man. Oh, I'm so full.
Don't lie to me. You don't live with a white family.
You're right. I had a whole bunch of kimchi and egg rolls instead.
But doesn't matter because this holiday season, may your home be filled with joy, regardless of what ethnicity you may be. And may your butthole be as clean as fresh-driven snow, thanks to Hello Tushy.
That's right. Don't get stuck with a post-turkey day or egg roll day disaster. Protect your pipes with a Hello Tushy bidet.
For years, bidets have cost thousands of dollars and available only to the richest of a-holes.
The Hello Tushy modern bidet attachment is here to democratize the blessings bestowed by bidets and offer clean buttholes to everyone.
Hello Tushy attaches to your existing toilet, no electricity or additional plumbing needed, and cleans your butt with a precise stream of fresh water, all for just $79.
And your Hello Tushy will cut toilet paper use by 80%, so it pays for itself simply by how much TP it saves you.
Because with Hello Tushy, you don't wipe at all. Hello Tushy is your new hands-free butt buddy.
Every Hello Tushy bidet attachment comes with a 60-day risk-free happy butt guarantee and a 12-month warranty.
Stop wiping your butt and start washing and join the millions of happy Hello Tushy customers right now. Plus, Hello Tushy is the perfect gift for the holidays.
Get 10% off plus free shipping right now at hellotushy.com/ANA.
That's hellotushy.com/ANA for 10% off and free shipping.
hellotushy.com/ANA. Okay, and now we're back with our guest, Anhtriet Tran, comedian, international horny guy, and we're going to do our next segment, which is mismanagement consulting. This is a new segment we've been doing for the last couple of weeks, in which people can send in questions they have, and we do some very bad mismanagement consulting on them. If you want to be on this segment, you can text or leave a voicemail at 917-755-9596. Just text or leave a voicemail. Nobody's going to pick up. It's not like we have like a
hotline
operator there who is just always just going to be listening. Just leave a voicemail. We love getting them. Or you can email us at AsianNotAsianPod@gmail.com. Either one of those would be great. But today we're going to have a little mismanagement consulting with our guest Anhtriet. And you have a question for the pod here, and I'm willing. You're a client. We've signed the scope of work. Let's do it.
Yeah. So in the previous segment, you guys probably think I'm just some international playboy, but I actually am in a relationship. Yeah. So it's getting pretty serious. It's at that point where it's starting to get serious. It's just a couple months in. I think we started just before the quarantine. And now it's, I would say, yes,
she's
7.
Can I say she's a comedian too?
She's a comedian too.
We all know who she is. I don't want to like get this all up on there, but she's a comedian too. And by the way, when I found out, I was sick to my stomach.
Because she wasn't Vietnamese.
Because she's way better than you, bro. Come on now.
I'm doing it for the clout. The
clout. You really are. Okay.
So she's actually Southeast Asian too, not Vietnamese, Southeast Asian too.
Yep.
So we kept it within the fish sauce family, fish sauce Asian. So it's just Mike. I know you talk about your wife, yourself. You've been happily married for a long time.
Yeah, a little while. Yep.
Yeah. So what would you say are the keys to And don't give me like the corny, like what, like you go to a wedding, it's like, what's the key to happiness? And you're like, oh, listen to each other. You know, I want the real nitty gritty stuff, the stuff that you're not going to hear, you know, I want the down and dirty. What's
okay.
the secrets?
I'm gonna give you. Okay, so there's probably a couple of things of it, and I'll start it off with you know, you have to accept, and I'll use a lesson you just taught me. You have to accept that you're a kuipap. Okay, you are, as a man, you're a kuipap. You are completely useless in the relationship. Okay, and I always think about this. I thought about this as a joke for a while. You know, not aliens. You know, insects.
Yep.
There's a lot of insects that when they mate, the female eats the male. Okay,
Yes.
and you know, praying mantises do this. Some spiders do this. I think wasps do this. Or what happens too is the male is usually much smaller than the female, and they're a drone. So they go and they mate with the female, and then they die right away. Okay, and honestly, being eaten or dying right away is way more useful than anything human males do, because we don't do anything. You know, you just look at everything. Like you look at like just like birth control, you know, like women are even responsible for not getting pregnant.
Yes.
You know, like men are not responsible even for that part. We're not responsible. It's like men are always like talking about, oh yeah, you know, I don't want to get locked down. I want to be, you know, I want to be free. But we're constantly knocking up women. We're just like, that's like, we're so stupid that we can't even do it. And so, you know, that's like, to get a little bit more serious, a big thing is just realizing how wrong you are about so many things. It's just, I know that makes it sound like men are shitty, blah, 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 blah. But a lot of it, and to a lot of extent, it goes the other way too. But like, a lot of it is realizing that your ideas are usually self-oriented, too selfish, not like oriented around like the group or like seeing from someone else's perspective. I'll just give you like a small crappy example is, you know, just like, I don't know, like decorating the apartment, you know, like men's decorating the apartment is, I'm going to put a Scarface poster up, right? This is banging. Fuck yeah. And that is the stupidest, like, the design idea. And it's like not like home building. It's not like a conducive home building thing. And that's like your idea. And you're like, this is the best idea I've ever had. Stupid idea. Kuipap, you're so stupid. So that you just have to kind of like internalize that, because then that starts informing a lot of your other shit, because then it starts informing things like, am I saving money? Probably not. Am I saving money correctly? Probably not. Am I spending money correctly? Probably not. You know, like, and the reason why I want to keep pushing that is because it's like, even if you really understand it, like as a guy, we're still so like selfish and self-oriented that like we're like, before we were 100% selfish, and if you get to just 99% selfish, you're going to have a successful relationship right there. You know, if you just internalize what that is. And I'm probably going to get a whole bunch of dudes who are just like, oh, no way, I think about my, like, you know, relationship all the time. And I think dudes, like, we're really good at, like, you know, this is why we were hunters and gatherers. We're like, give us a specific task, you know? Yeah. I think then guys are really good at that. So it's like, hey, go hunt that mammoth. Yeah. Boom. Got it. Kill the mammoth. Brought it back. Done. Because as soon as the mammoth is done, then you have to give us another task. Otherwise, we're just going to like start like sitting around and telling stories like around the campfire. You know, you have to give us a specific task, and then that's good. That's like sort of how men think. We're just like, okay, check the thing. We did it. Now I'm just useless. That's why like it's better if you're an insect and you just died, because then at least then you're out of the picture.
Yeah, it's less of a burden. That's funny.
Exactly. You know, just mate with the female and die because your body will become sustenance for, I don't know,
your nutrition. That's your only worth.
Your body is worth much more than anything else you contribute. That's probably like the overarching
I like that
thing. That's that's like a little thing, and you're just gonna have to ruminate on that, I think, for a while. How long is your longest relationship?
Longest relationship was probably in high school, college, about 2 years. But this is, now that you're older, right? And you hang out more, it feels longer. Like, even though it's been shorter, for me at least, it feels like you're in a lot deeper. And real quick, before we move on more, when you said the Scarface poster thing, that hit home because I literally was like, this week I saw an Akira poster for $80. I'm like, dude, I want that poster.
Yes.
That looks sick. And Akira basically is like the Asian Scarface, like for dudes like us. Like we love that movie.
Asian Scarface. Yeah, is it the poster of the dude walking up to the motorcycle?
Yeah, it's like kind of.
That's a fire poster, bro.
You know
Trust
exactly
me.
the one with the helmet on. He's holding.
Yeah, dude, that one's a fire poster. Okay, for me it was that one and Boondock Saints. Oh, fucking love. Yeah. Boondock Saints was the one. And there's ways to kind of like come to a meeting with that because you can have that.
Yeah.
Just don't like the college way of just like tacking it up on the wall, just like straight up, just like no frame. It's all torn and fucked up. Just like one corner is tape. Just come on, like you gotta like think about it in a way so that you kind of like build a home, and that's really like a big thing of the relationship is that. In a relationship, you're no longer really it's about me or it's about her or them or whatever. It's really about this mutual thing that you're trying to do together. It's really kind of like almost like starting a fire. Like you shouldn't think of it as like this is my fire, and you shouldn't think of it as this is their fire or her fire or his fire. You should think of it as like we're building a fire and we have to do that together, and that's like a separate thing, separate from you, and you have to kind of work on that. That's like kind of like the mind shift, the paradigm shift. Okay, I'm going to use a little mismanagement consulting. The paradigm shift that you need to do in order to like get to a better place. So it's tricky, but I feel like you started the relationship in the quarantine, right? So that's got to be weird, right?
It is a little, but I think it's because I've always been a proponent of if you know. Right. If you feel it and you really trust it, you know. Yeah. So that's why I feel a lot in New York. I've always been in very short term, like I think the longest relationship before I was in New York was maybe 6 months.
Right.
And so it always comes to a point where I know it's either we're going to get serious or are we just going to be whatever. And then this one from, very early on, I was like, I want it to be super serious. So,
wow.
Yeah. So it's just, I feel like that's the key to a successful relationship, I think, is just a ton of shitty hinge dates. And then like,
yes.
And then,
I think that's a good thing. I think, when something is like, when you're like, oh, this is okay. But if you like find someone, you're like, this is really cool.
Yeah.
And you should like try to go all in on it. I feel that. I do have a question for you, sort of a follow-up, this is a good thing, if you're a consultant, you got to think about next steps. Okay. You always got to do next steps, right? You got your advisory note that you do or your presentation, and then the last couple slides is like next steps so that you can kind of continue the relationship with the client. I want to have a follow-up question with you is you're both comics.
Yeah.
Are you at all concerned about like because like comedy is like so all-encompassing. You got to like be out all the time. You got to be doing this and that show. It's easy to get jealous of in a regular relationship between two people who have careers.
Yeah.
Do you ever get concerned like, oh, what if one of us kind of pops off and the other one doesn't? Do you, or someone is getting booked on more shows than I am or whatever, like, do you ever have concerns about that?
Oh, I'm just going to cheat immediately. When she gets late night, cheat. Cheating. No. Just, all seriousness. It's just... Yeah, I think I'm very happy and supportive for me too. Like even because I feel like even people that you're like close with and you might think that you're on the same level with, further from that is when you see them have an opportunity and stuff. Like one of my friends, she just got a job at Netflix for writing. And then for me, it was very much, I'm very happy for that. And I'm supportive of that because before like a younger comic me definitely would have been, somebody had got booked on a great show. You know, they got past their club. I'll be like, dude, I'm way funnier than I'm working way harder. But I feel like that type of mentality, especially something in as hard as comedy, where you're just always getting beaten up and then getting no's, rejections a lot. You can't add any more additional negativity.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I was talking about earlier. It's just, I really focus on the positives, like what makes me happy, like seeing my other friend, that makes me really, really happy. Right. And like when you told me that you and Fumi, you sold that show to Comedy Central, right? That was like super happy. I was so excited and stuff. And it's I haven't really had that like jealousy thing, because immediately, like early on, I realized it's not healthy at all. It's not good, and it doesn't lessen anything from you. You know, people,
right?
You know, in some sense of things, maybe because it's like a small scene, but now I feel like there's so many different, you can pop up on YouTube, you know, you can pop up on TikTok.
Right.
There's so many other, there's not many. I can feel like in the past, before there was more gatekeepers and there may be like only a certain number of spots, but now there's so many opportunities.
There's much more spots. Yeah.
Like the potential for you. It's just, I think that's not really the thing that's blocking you. It's just that's not the gating item, right? There's more. So no, not at all.
Dang.
I say that now.
Yeah, you say it now. And then as soon as she starts popping off, man, you know, you're going to be out there in the DMs, like, you know, like chatting people on Duolingo, bro. You know, like, all right. Well, remember, you're still a Queep Up. That was our Mismanagement Consulting. If you want to get up on Mismanagement Consulting, please text or leave a voicemail at 917-755-9596 or email us at AsianNotAsianPod@gmail.com. Okay, and we're back with our guest, Anhtriet Tran. We're going to do our usual segment, Das Race News, which is our race news segment. However, we're going to do a special investigative reporting edition.
Yes.
Okay, because what we had here was we had Anhtriet. He went undercover on social media to dig around and figure out. This is kind of like, you know, when Channel 4 Eyewitness News goes undercover to figure out a scam that's happening at your local like auto repair shop. This is what Anhtriet did. He went undercover into some Vietnamese Trump supporter groups on Facebook. On Facebook.
Vietnamese love Facebook.
Vietnamese people. We really do. We love Facebook, huh?
Yeah.
That's so funny. We're not on TikTok. We're very behind the times. Let's just say that. And he infiltrated some Vietnamese Trump supporter groups. What did you find out, man? Well, first of all, hold on here. Did your parents or relatives vote for Trump? Do you know?
So I think in the first election, my parents voted for Trump. I'm not sure, but the way that they talked about it and the attitudes they had toward Hillary Clinton made me strongly believe that. But this year, my mom refused to vote because she said she hated both candidates. And then my dad voted for Biden. So,
really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You flipped. Okay. Yeah. I feel with my relatives, I haven't asked them because I feel I would get like upset. I know they're definitely conservative.
Yeah.
My mom used to have like this picture of George Bush.
Yeah.
The second one up on the wall and shit like that. And like, I mean, shit. George Bush is like a saint compared to Trump. Well, I don't know. He's still a war criminal, but you know, like he was like a tolerable war criminal.
Yeah.
But my parents are definitely conservative. I don't know if they voted for Trump, but my family is definitely more conservative. But what did you find out in your thing? What did you? Yeah.
Do you know what? It started to. I hate this, but because the more and more investigating, I'm not saying it's right, but I could see why Vietnamese people voted for Trump. And so you kind of get in too deep and you're like, okay, I can see, and I start to understand. And then I'm not saying I turn sides or anything, but
you got it too deep. Okay, go ahead.
There's a lot of Vietnamese people, when they first came over, they didn't really have any skills, right? So a lot of them are small business owners.
Yeah.
And then so in their mind, you know, Republicans align with all small business stuff. There's a lot of Vietnamese jewelry stores. There's a lot of Vietnamese people own nail salons. People own grocery stores. Yeah, there's a lot of Vietnamese small businesses. Yeah, right. Because they just took what they learned and then came over here. a lot of
started selling fruit. Yep.
Yeah, a lot of Vietnamese people are farmers and fishermen, and that I found out here.
Yes.
So they work in some like source of like food production in terms of agriculture or fishing, and then so historically, the conservative Republican candidate just has always been, pro small businesses, pro business, and so they see that, and then so that's kind of like my serious answer. And let's go on let's talk about what I actually think. They like, because first things first, I could tell, I know this is true for you, this is true for me to some extent, but Vietnamese people love gold. Okay. People love gold.
We're like fucking leprechauns, dude. Okay.
Yes.
We're just like, take my away from my lucky charms. Like my mom, I don't know if your mom, my mom used to have gold bullion, like little ingots of gold,
right,
that she would keep in a safe deposit box, along with a Magnum, because like she was just like, yo, if shit gets crazy, we're gonna get this gold, we're gonna jump on this boat that I have hooked up at Huntington Beach, and we're gonna fucking sail to the Philippines, so we love gold. I have some gold that and it's crazy because gold is so expensive right now. If you track the gold thing, it used to be really cheap in the 90s and early 2000s, and over time it's gotten more expensive. So yes, we love gold. Continue.
So we love gold. And have you seen the interior of any Trump hotel? Just wall-to-wall gold.
Shit.
Wall-to-wall gold.
Oh, fuck.
That's because he's that flashy lifestyle.
Yes.
And stuff. See, even guys, your wedding band is gold, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's very popular now for dudes to get like white gold or like the silver.
Yes.
Every single Vietnamese dude I know who's gotten married are around like our age, gold, always gold. They're like, no, I'm not gonna mess around with this white gold stuff. No, pure classic. We love gold.
Yellow gold. Yeah. You know how right now I feel it's like a thing for dudes to get like, those wedding bands that are like rubber,
Oh,
so like it's like tactical, So like I got this rubber. No, fuck that. Okay.
No, gold.
I want this shit to be gold as fuck, dude.
Yes. So that's why, because Trump has that like flashy. I feel like Vietnamese people are very aspirational too, because they're in that sense that they'll vote because I want to be rich. Like a lot of Vietnamese people love gold, love money, and another thing Trump is known for, land. Vietnamese people love land and real estate.
Yo, where else are our ox going to be at? You know what I'm saying? We need to have. Yes, we need that land.
Right. My parents, they're always talking about investing land. They always want to like buy, rent apartment. Exactly.
Yo.
Your parents probably, have talked about investing land back in Vietnam, like land in the back home. Probably has been some family arguments about a piece of land or like how to sell it or when to divest. Vietnamese people love land and real estate. And I think because Trump, he's the king
He's all
of
about
real
land.
estate. Exactly.
Yes, he's all about okay. Damn, this is so good.
Yeah, so this is just like slowly. Yeah, because I've read. You've probably read like all the major articles because there's been a bunch that came out before the election, like, why Vietnamese people like Trump, like Vietnamese are like the Asian population that's most likely to vote for him, and they always come up with like, it's like the conservative angle, it's like the communist angle. I think it's really comes down to like the aspirational wealth.
Yeah,
that's it, because they love land, the gold. It all made sense to me once I was like, after like the 100th post I've read.
100th post. I love that. I feel that yes, Democrats, we definitely need to get up on the gold thing. Okay, we need to somehow get Biden some gold. Just like a little bit of gold. We need to get him a little bit of gold, and we need to show him fucking fishing or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Or like, I don't know, because like you're right, like Trump is always golfing.
Yes. And
I've read this before where, I think he's golfing a lot because he's a dickhead and he likes golfing. But he knows that to people, in people's minds, golfing is like high end, it's classy. You're like, it takes a lot of land to golf. You got to have a lot of land. He's always golfing at one of his spots.
Right.
To just say like, hey, look at all this land. I'm golfing on my own land, which is like so Vietnamese. Vietnamese people, we would love to have our own golf thing. We would never be able to maintain it because just like we're just not going to be like that. But we would love to have someone like that. And I feel Biden, we got to get him like
doing fancy stuff.
Yeah, we need to get him like a solid gold
yacht.
Yes, yacht like a necklace that has like a medallion that has like a phoenix on it. You know,
Oh, yes.
Phoenix.
Yes.
Yeah, we need to get that, or like at least a piece of like a big old fat Buddha jade, you know, on there. This is what's up, and we need to get him golfing or
Yes,
some
we need
shit.
him
You
like
know?
a massive. We need him to get those jade bands too. We need to
Yes.
we need like Kamala Harris. Those those jade bands that the auntie wears.
Yes,
She needs
that
to
your
wear.
that your grandma's always wearing and shit.
Those
and-
solid jade bands. Yeah.
Charlotte jade band, you can't take it off ever. You know?
I don't know how they get it off.
You can't take it off.
I have
The
no
only
idea.
time you can take it off is when that person becomes a skeleton, and then you can take it off. That's the only time, my friend. Dude, so true, bro. Oh man. Okay, so this has been Das Race News Investigative Reporting Edition. I hope some Democrats are listening because this is gold, solid gold right here. Okay, I think that is it. Thank you so much to our guest Anhtriet Tran for coming in here and taking over, turning Asian Not Asian to Viet Not Viet for at least one episode. We'll have you back, man. It'll be a
Awesome.
lot of
Thanks.
fun.
This was so much fun. It's good hanging out.
Absolutely, man. Where can our fans find you? What's going on with you? I know you do a lot of stuff, man. You
Yeah.
got the hustle. I like that.
Just so right now, I'm really making a push into online content because it's winter time. So I've got a YouTube channel set up. I've got a lot of stand-up clips. I'm gonna start releasing a lot of other stuff. So hopefully by the time this comes out, I'll have more than 2 videos on my channel. But yeah, it's just I don't have any name. But if you just search my name, it's Anhtriet Tran. Maybe we can include a link somewhere.
Yeah, definitely. We'll put a link on there. Are you on? What's your social?
Yeah, so Twitter, it is just Anhtriet Tran, so ANHTRIET Tran TRAN, and then Instagram, my handle is Treat Yourself, so it's
Hell yeah.
TRIETYOURSELF. Yeah.
That's cool. You can check us out on Instagram at AsianNotAsianPod. You can find us on our website, AsianNotAsianPod.com. Check out our merch. Get something nice for yourself. We've got all sorts of fun stuff. Check us out on Patreon and do all your Patreon shit. It's patreon.com/AsianNotAsianPod. We're trying to get a studio. We're trying to grow because we need money too. Hey, I need some gold. All right, I need gold. That's just expensive. I need gold. And
land.
You can find and land. We need land. Oh God, I love land. I'm gonna make that a T-shirt. Okay, I need land. Okay, so check me out on Instagram at Nice Pants Bro. You can find my co-host he's gonna do his own episode also during his business trip. You can find him at the Fumi Abi. That's TheFumiAbe. And I think that's going to be it. Check out our Zoom. We have a Zoom stand-up show every other Friday. Our next one is going to be December 18th, which will be the last one for 2020. Not sure if we're going to do one because then the one after that is January 1st. That's New Year. So I'm not sure if we're going to have one there, but we'll see how it goes. I think those are the big things. Remember, everybody, the main takeaway from this episode: you're a queep-up, okay? You ain't shit. You are a kernel. You are a corn cob.
Kernelless corn cob, useless. Guibop.
You are useless until you have land. Okay, so get some land. Otherwise, you're gonna be a queep-up. Okay, so thank you very much, Anhtriet.
No, thank you, Mike. All right.
Yeah, man. Bye.